Thank you for listening to the Tattness podcast on the Tattness Co. Network.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A Mercedes kind of sentiment, luxury and trust in me to honor the free we all should be. It sees my sundial burst into yin and yang, right and left me.
What is up, y'all? Thanks for checking out the Tattness podcast. As always, we have a big announcement to make today, man. We got a lot of members of the family to introduce you guys to. The Tattness Co. family has just picked up some new shows for the new network, so you got to check these people out, man. We're going to announce that right now before we get into this show. All right, Blue. We've been talking about doing this network thing. I've been talking about it for a minute, and I've been planning it, and a lot of work goes into it, and today I finally launched that sumbitch.
Yeah.
And it's going good.
It is.
It's fucking mind-blowing, the talent that I've picked up.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I've acquired a lot of talent.
Yes.
And a lot of cool shows that are very unique. And, I mean, what can be said for the talent?
They're all phenomenal. I mean, we have like 3 new members to introduce to the Tattness Co. network, and they are all so talented in their own ways, in their own, like, what their shows focus on. Like, man, like, what can be said but just, you guys are going to love them.
Yeah, here's the plan, okay? There's a method to what I do. And I picked up a bunch of shows for the network that were not like mirror image of my own show, because why the fuck would anybody want an entire network of the same old shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Different topics, different everything. So whatever you're into, the plan is to find a show that is going to bring it to you the absolute best. Good production, sound quality, all the best. The content has to be good. The chemistry has to be solid. You want to care, you know, the idea is to care about who you're listening to and what they do. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I've heard a lot of shows, and a lot of them are pretty good. A lot of them are really good, but not quite what we're looking for.
Yep.
And then I find this gem, you know, that is done by these 2 sisters who are super amazing human beings, and our neighbors over in the U.S., and I tell you, man, my gut immediately was like, this. You know, check them out. This is what's up. Listen to their show because you're probably going to want them. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to listen to the show. My gut don't lie. Mm-hmm. So, super stoked to welcome the Chick and Hen Show with S&M. They are fucking amazing. They're sisters. Their chemistry is on par, like, with just about anybody, if not everybody. Mm-hmm. I think they're above and beyond everybody's chemistry.
Absolutely.
I think they're better than you and I together. I know you want to punch me in the neck sometimes, and I don't get that from them, so I give them more points than I give you and I.
Hey, but no, all jokes aside, they're great. I've been listening to them throughout the day today, and I love it. I'm just cracking some laughs and that, and the stuff that comes out of their mouths. I'm like, oh,
it's amazing.
It is. It relates to the modern day woman, I have to say, and they're both moms, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? The idea is that I wanted a powerful woman's voice, you know, for the female listeners, because the vast majority of my, you know, listeners are female.
Yep. They're
all women for the most part, according to analytics. I know you dudes are out there, like, shaking your damn head. The analytics, man, are not including you all much. Mm-hmm. So if you're a male, the analytics are fucking up. Or they're, you know, not showing you no love. Mm-hmm. So pound that fucking subscribe button and prove them wrong.
Exactly. So don't come hunting us down. We're just reading what we know.
Yeah, I know analytics are never perfect, but, you know, so I figured anyone that loves a woman's point of view
would appreciate this, like,
without the sugarcoating, without all the bullshit. Mm-hmm. And if you like the way I address things with no fucks given, their language is pretty much on par.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, if you're sensitive to an occasional fuck or shit or cunt, then they're not for you. But if you are, all the power to you.
Or you could get the fuck over it and give them a chance any damn way. Mm-hmm. Whatever. In other words, they're not safe for work or your family listening. But they're fucking dope as shit. So I suggest, you know, that you give them a shot, because you will not be disappointed. And they're only getting better.
Absolutely.
They have a hell of a following, too.
So check out the website, tattnessco.com, in our new network shows page, and you'll find them right there with the link to their Spotify
And
page.
if you're a pro wrestling fan, then you gotta, and you're sick of the fucking product like a lot of people are these days, check out Raw and Order. These cats take a different, approach completely, and they advocate for you fucking smart fans that know too damn much. Mm-hmm. And they call shit out on their crimes against the business. And sometimes they'll call you guys out for being entitled shits. Aren't we all as fans, right?
Yes, we are.
And then there's also this unique pickup that I found. Speaking of pro wrestling, if you're into it, they got a hint of pro wrestling, but one of their hosts is also from AEW. So check them out. And Nyla Rose is a part of the hosting of the show. Mm-hmm. And they talk about and play Dungeons and Dragons while talking about wrestling too. Mm-hmm. And so if you're into that game, dude, I've never played it myself, unfortunately.
Neither have I. So
and it's such a nostalgia trip to hear about it. But I've never gotten around to playing it. But for those that love it, check it out, man.
Oh, for sure. And to, hear more of the very talented Nyla Rose, I have to say, I did watch a match with her in it, and she's quite the talented wrestler.
Yeah, man, we got a hell of a roster going on so far, and there's more to come. But, again, we're trying to cherry pick and find the best, hand-picked talent to give you guys some interesting content, because we don't want, an entire network of cookie-cutter product. Mm-hmm. And we are in no way viewing these shows as like competition to us or whatever. It's family. We're promoting the hell out of them. Rock that shit till the wheels fall off.
Yep. I
will promote them to the end. And, so I want you guys to check them out. If any of these shows sound appealing to you, give them a shot, Even if they don't sound appealing to you, listen to them one time. You might dig it.
Yeah, show them some love.
Or you might want to come back, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the way it goes. I've listened to many shows that I was like, I don't know if it's for me, but I'll check it out. Mm-hmm. And then I loved it. So, long-time listener of a few. And I'm honestly a fan of every show I've picked up.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with what they do. And I look forward to more talent. Mm-hmm. So, we launched the network. And it is on tattnessco.com. And there's going to be more shows, more talent coming.
Yep.
Bear with us. But for now, we gave you a damn bunch to pick from, to binge on, because they've already got their foot in the door. They've started. They're,
and hey, we're going into a new month very soon. We're at the end of February, so
right.
There's a nice set of talent to listen to for the month of March.
There's so much going on. I'm going to be a guest on some other shows in the very near future. One being the Try Not to Laugh podcast, which I think these cats are so fucking funny. I tried to get them on the network, but these guys are so committed to their craft that they were like, you know what? We have to respectfully decline, because right now we don't want to be on any networks. We want to focus on our production value and get our stuff where we want it to be. Even though it's already fucking amazing, they want it to be even better, and I cannot fault them for that. I respect the shit out of them for that.
Absolutely.
Anyone could take the easy road and just be like, fuck it, I'll hop on a network and get promoted and whatever. They want their material to represent them the best of its ability, and I dig that the most. So I'm going to be a guest on their show at some point in the near future, and we're in talks.
Yep. And also, I guess you could say guys can look forward to us having guests here on the Tattness podcast.
Absolutely, I have that going on.
We got together today and actually helped figure out some technical kinks and that, and set up that. So, some exciting content to be on the lookout for.
Also, I've been hooked up with a publicist that has a lot of clients that are looking to be interviewed. To, everyone from actors to models and everything in between, writers, musicians, doesn't matter. They're all going to be on the show sooner or later to promote what they got going on. And you're going to hear of some names that you may have recognized, maybe someone that you're hearing about for the first time just before they make it. You never know. But I'll be bringing some interesting cats on the show, and let's step this bitch up.
Yeah.
And start exposing some talent out there, man. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, me too.
Some cool names coming our way.
I have to say, 2020's been pretty solid start so far. A lot of changes going on.
Hey, man, I'm trying to give back. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make a name for people because I didn't have nobody fucking helping me make a name for my damn self.
No.
Except for, the odd person that gave me an opportunity, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But, aside from that, I didn't have nobody fucking give me no handouts or no help. Even if I fucking worked my ass off, nobody felt I deserved a little hand. Mm-hmm. So, I want to give back and kind of expose the talent that's out there.
Yeah.
And get them the recognition they deserve.
Absolutely.
And the shows that I've picked up definitely deserve your attention.
Amen. They do.
So what's going on these days, Blue? What do you got going on? Besides fuck all.
Well, thank you.
Well, you weren't quick to answer.
I can't really think of much, but I don't know. I feel like you got a lot more interesting stuff going on.
It's all business, man. We're doing the product launch soon with a fucking promotional giveaway and revamping the whole fucking umbrella. Mm-hmm. The amazing thing is Tattness Co. started out as this little indie fucking clothing line, and now it's a network. It's, books. It's a clothing line. It's supplements, and soon to be its own fucking beer line. Especially for you local fucking Dartmouth, Nova Scotia cats and Halifax motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. God love you.
I have to say, being out here, Nova Scotia, we're both originally from Ontario, and I've always, in my later years, started to acquire taste for craft breweries and that, and supporting local businesses and that, and, instead of drinking the same old, I will admit, you know me well, I used to love Bud Light Lime.
Garbage.
Shut up. I'll still drink it. But, now I've kind of strayed away, and I've kind of dabbled into trying different types of beer and craft breweries. And out here in Nova Scotia, especially the Halifax, Dartmouth area, man, they have some solid craft breweries. Especially, I know we mentioned one in one of our shows, I can't remember which one, with the whole controversy with the Dirty Blonde.
Yeah.
Brew?
Well, I plan on teaming up with them. Mm-hmm. So, if all goes well.
Yeah. And they're great. If you guys ever find yourself out in this area, definitely be sure to try some of the local craft beers. They are fantastic.
All right. Enough plugging the fuck out of the craft breweries, you alcoholic.
Hey.
Come on now. I'm trying to fucking promote the shit that's going on, and we started talking about how I'm launching a beer sometime soon, mm-hmm. and I'm partnering, hopefully, with a really good fucking local craft brewery, but I'm not here to blow smoke up anyone's ass either. So let's stop kissing ass now and stay on fucking track.
Okay.
Because I know there's a concern now.
Mm-hmm.
When people listen to the Chicken Hen fucking show, and I know they will, they're going to hear some views that might seem contradictory to some of the shit I've touched on. Mm. If you look at it on surface level, where, they'll say some shit, and they'll be like, hey, and you pick them up based on, your views and whatever. First of all, motherfuckers, let me assure you that the world goes around a lot better when you have a different fucking perspective. Mm-hmm. Second of all, what they have to say does not contradict what I have said in the past. Because what they're saying comes from a better place than what people I've kind of called out have said.
Yeah.
And where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, they're not man-haters. Okay, they're fucking married. They're happy. They're
sons.
They're raising their sons to be good fucking men. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're trying to raise their children to be the good in the world.
Yeah.
So when they say something about how men can be shit, because let's face it, y'all, we can be. Men are men. We fuck up. We're human. But then there's men that are just absolute fucking scum. Mm-hmm. Sorry, but it's true. It happens. Just like there's women out there that are fucking, the worst.
Yep.
It happens. It's a human fucking thing.
Yes.
So they're not being divisive and saying, fuck men and every woman's right.
Pro-woman.
Right. So before y'all worry about Tattness fucking selling out by, picking them up, I assure you, You sexy beasts don't have nothing to worry about. I have not sold out. I respect the fuck out of their views, and I've given them a home because I respect the way they go about stating their views. They clarify just as much as I do.
Yeah.
That, you know, they're not trying to hate on any fucking specific gender or be divisive in any way. Mm-hmm. They're just stating facts from experience. Some people suck. You know, and they call women out to you for sucking just as much and being shitty fucking human beings and telling them we can do better, you know?
Accountability.
So I dig that. And I got no qualms with that. So before you listen to one show and then think I'm selling out by picking them up, nah, I assure you, trust me, you know, I know what I'm doing and they deserve it. They deserve the spot.
And all the love.
And all the love and support. And I intend to have them on the show so they can talk more about their views. And hell, we'll get into it. We'll talk about how my views may fucking rub them the wrong way if I don't clarify.
Yeah.
But we can clarify. We can communicate. We can fucking address anything I've said if I wasn't over the top clear in the first place. And we'll have it fucking straight on the table.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. You know, if you're going to be a part of my network and you're going to be part of the family, I think it's only right that we can sit down and communicate and be upfront with each other and transparent and talk about what we said and what we meant by it. So everybody's on the same page, man. I think it's great. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to a lot of the shows that I'm going to be guest appearing on and who I'm going to have on my show as guests. I dig it, man. I'm excited. Big fucking things are going on, and there's only so much I can talk about. I don't like to confirm other things.
Yeah, or give it all away at once.
Until it's, So, you know, we got the promotional giveaway going on, so Tattness Co. merch will be given away to some random people out in the local areas. Maybe even shipped out to some fucking far-off places. You never know. So, you know, everything's great. What do you got going on?
Huh? Come on, man. You got me on but bad time. I mean...
Boring.
Hey.
Nothing.
Fair enough. I mean, nothing exciting's happened in my life. I mean, I had to work this weekend, so there's that.
Yeah, you got that real job thing going on, so that kind of blows. But what are you going to do?
But hey, it's doing what I love doing, so that's all that matters, right?
That's
but I
all
love
that matters.
Not saying I don't love doing this too.
Hey, I took over the producer role. I fucking learned how to edit and shit myself. I said shit myself. I learned before anyone calls me on it and laughs. Fuck you, I beat you to it.
Fine.
You know, but you know, I picked up on it, so I carry my weight. But you know, you're great with the IT shit. It's a foreign fucking language to me, man.
I do try. I mean, I grew up with early stages of technology thanks to my dad's line of work, and I learned a lot from him. And I have to say, you know, thanks a lot because I feel like I know this. I mean, hell, I was born 1990, so I grew up with, you know, the rise of the home computer. I mean, home computers were around in the 80s, but I didn't exist, so... You know, and when your parent is working with these machines day in and day out for a living, and he has to learn all the new technologies, you pick up pretty quick. It becomes second nature. But let's face it, all younger people these days, the younger generation, they're literally, the second they're born, technology is already shoved in their face. It's what it is now. And it's kind of funny, actually, because I know, not to poke fun at your age, you said some IT stuff, you find yourself stumbling in that because you didn't really have that luxury of growing up with it. I mean, good lord, from my understanding, like, home computers in the 80s were like all DOS-based, weren't they? Like, type in that. There was no desktops and icons and all that good stuff.
You know, I was going to be cool till you brought up the age thing, so now I'm going to hit you with it, fucking nerd.
Shut up.
Knowing all that shit about fucking computers and shit. Fucking nerd.
Well, and as, you know, as time went along, technology has become more integrated with education. But I actually saw something that was quite interesting. I caught it on the news the other night while I was at work, because, you know, we have TVs going just to keep everyone awake and that, just background noise and stuff. And it was these young people, I believe they were in high school, I didn't really catch the full details in that they were actually embracing typewriters and taking typewriting class.
That's definitely fucking archaic.
Yeah, it's archaic, but they said they like the old art and that, and the old, the keys hitting.
What are they fucking auditioning for Murder, She Wrote version 2.0?
Probably, but...
Good God.
I know, I found that somewhat interesting. I'm like, it's kind of going backwards with the technology, because let's face it, you went from typewriters to clunky-ass keyboards to now touchscreen and that. And, well, don't forget, even with cell phones... when they started coming out with texting, the T9. You remember that stuff?
I hated that shit.
Dude, I actually didn't mind it. But my first few cell phones, of course, I mean, a lot of people's first cell phones that are older, including yourself, used the T9 texting. And then I went to the slide-out keyboards. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. But
That's 2 digs at my age now, you motherfucker.
No, let me finish. But I did like the T9, and I remember I had to take, like, a night school course, and this is when iPhones and Blackberries were starting to become on the rise, so the full keyboard texting was available. But there was a chick in my class, she was still rocking the T9 texting, and she was fast on that. She's literally like...
It's fucking crazy how that works. I always joke with people about my age saying Game Boy fucking was like the introductory to us having our faces buried in some technology all the time.
I would say, didn't you have Game & Watch before Game Boy?
What in the fuck is that?
Come on, man.
What?
Mr. Game & Watch, like those watches? Like,
oh, that was for poor people, bro.
Come on, but that was before Game Boy.
That was trash. Those little stupid, like, Kmart fucking sold watches that had one game that was literally just these digital fucking shapes. And you had to pretend it was actually a game. That nonsense. That was trash. Like those Tiger electronic fucking things. Good God, those are terrible.
Dude, I wanted one as a kid, okay?
Of course you fucking
I didn't get one, but one of my best friends had a Sabrina the Teenage Witch one, and I remember I wanted to fuck around with it one time, but I guess it wasn't working, and I teased her about it so much.
I joke about how those things were for fucking poor-ass people. And here I was, I got my Game Boy as a kid from a fucking garage sale on my street for $5. And it came with Tetris and Yoshi's Cookie.
Oh, nice.
And the only thing wrong with it was missing the backing that held the batteries in.
Who gives a shit?
Right, a little duct tape over that would keep them held in.
Exactly.
So...
Dude, mine was the Game Boy Color, because it just came out, and that, I remember, was so groundbreaking.
Yeah, for me, it was the original, man, that I had. And you just sat with that thing fucking with your face buried in it all the time.
And do you remember how big they were? And they were like monsters with batteries. It took 4 AA's.
Yeah, they were. But then Game Gear came out, and that fucking thing really stepped its shit up. And it couldn't compete. It was trash.
Yeah, well, there was also the Atari Lynx, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was trash too, though.
Yeah, but I know people like to say the Game Gear and the Lynx were the first color.
Yeah, but they and that's true. But they did not do as well as the black and white Game Boy.
No, and isn't it too? I think they took like D batteries. Those big.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I swear one of them did, or they drained through the batteries a lot quicker than
Game
Gear
Boy. Fucking went through AA's like something fierce. My neighbor had one, but I can't vouch for the D battery bullshit.
I'm not sure. Maybe it was AA's, but of course, because it was a light-up screen and color graphics and that, and probably a faster processor.
Imagine the size of the fucking handheld system that takes D batteries. Those
well, the
fucking
Lynx was
things.
fucking huge.
Well, then that's probably what you're thinking of, because I've never fucking seen anyone that had it.
I didn't see anyone that had one either, but I've seen videos and read stuff about it. But, I mean, I'm probably, like, exaggerating here, but it's probably about the size of an original Apple iPad.
Listen to you pretending you know how to read.
Come on, man.
Hey,
I
man.
do. I'm smart, okay?
You took a dig at my age twice. Fuck you. But, yeah, you know, it really is a weird situation with technology. It's a motherfucker to deal with.
It is.
But it's so handy at the same time.
It is, and I was mentioning this to you earlier. Some programs, like KidPix. Do you remember that? Did you have that in school?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm older than you, bro.
Right, fair enough. You know, the computer labs at school. The schools I went to, we used Macs, and we had all these little select programs. I'm sure a lot of schools had the same collection.
The Macs, yeah. Little fucking... Because we had SimCity on it.
Oh, shoot. Man, we had this art program, KidPix. And I remember I felt so awesome because I got a hold of it for
Oh, it probably had it on theirs too, but we just didn't fuck with it because SimCity was like the tits, bro.
Okay, we didn't have that, so we suck.
Like, because we were tripping that we got to like send Godzilla into our city and fuck shit up. We're like,
on,
why would we
play
not?
That now.
Why would we not do that? That little mini Super Nintendo thing I got over here.
Yeah,
it's on there.
Oh,
yeah, buddy.
Oh,
that's all you. Have at her.
You
I'll
know
do the fucking show by my damn self.
Oh, no. I'm going to do this after the show. Don't worry, people. I'm not going away. You're thinking, damn it.
Probably.
But anyways, as I was saying, like, the technology, I thought that when I was a kid, I thought this was the shit, and I would make little movies. Even with, like, the microphones. I had one of those cheap-ass bendy plug-in microphones for my PC, and I'd make movies, and it was just so silly. And, at the time, you think it's so groundbreaking, but if I went back and looked at it now, I'd be like, oh my gosh, how archaic.
I think of Mario Paint when I think of that shit. Mm-hmm. On Super Nintendo.
It's very similar.
Mario Paint had a lot of cool options, and that shit was fun.
Mm-hmm. It was. And I actually remember I think I was in grade 2. We had a grade 2-3 split class, and we actually used it for a class project to make a slideshow presentation. You got put in groups and you all had to work together and make a scene on this program.
We were boys, so we were little fucking Neanderthals that got our fucking rocks off just making these little animations of a pecker pissing all over a toilet because it would actually make it would actually make our drawing move and like,
oh my god, you actually did that.
That's all we did with that fucking thing. Like, that's all we cared to do. Who could do it best?
Oh my god!
You got the neighbor kids over at your house.
Sorry.
Just fucking sitting around drawing peckers pissing.
Oh my god.
Drawing their best toilet and puddles of piss beside it. And let's see how we can animate this motherfucker.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we were fucking idiots, but...
Sorry.
Jesus.
That's too much.
So, anyways, speaking of old times, I read something kind of cool today, and it's fucking... I know there's no direction with this conversation, but who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I like organic fucking conversations, and...
sometimes they're the best.
This was interesting. Apparently, right now, what's being worked on is a fucking prequel to Gremlins.
Get out of here.
I shit you not, it's coming out 2021.
Oh.
And apparently the creator of Gremlins is apparently super fucking stoked with the direction that it's moving in right now. Because he's had input based on, his intentions from the first one. And getting some backstory, I guess, from him as to what he would like to see in the prequel to help it along, to make it authentic.
Oh, wow.
So it should be really interesting if you're a Gremlins fan.
Oh, for sure.
I loved Gremlins, too, because of all the cameos in it, man. You had fucking Grandpa Munster, you had Hulk Hogan. Good God.
I hate to say it, but I like the first one better.
I will fucking fight you, youngin' motherfucker.
I will... digress. I have to say, number 2 was good with all the cameos, especially Hulk Hogan,
That was the tits, bro. That was
nothing
funny.
Screams 80s like the Hulkster himself. Come on, man.
Absolutely. As if you fucking know anything about the 80s. You never saw a day of it, but okay.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Holy fuck, she's trying to pick a fight. If I get leg dropped on the air, you're fired.
Oh, fine. Fair enough. But that's pretty cool. I mean, how many years has it been since the second one came out?
Oh, it's been a long ass time.
Probably 30 plus years. Let's give or take.
Yeah. It's been a minute, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's fucking crazy that so much time has passed. And now in 2021, we are looking to see a prequel to the fucking first one.
Wow.
How cool should that be?
Because I think that'd be really cool.
That's going to be like a whole origin story of where they came from, I would imagine, and what they are, really, how they originated, what... Shit, man.
I mean, I have to say, I think a lot of people these days are really into the prequel movies and television shows. I mean, come on, look at that Baby Yoda garbage. Yeah, I know, I've already addressed that, how much that stuff drives me nuts, but people dig it. Backstory about Yoda, his younger days and that. So, That'd be pretty cool about Gremlins, but my concern is what are they doing with the actual Gremlins themselves? Are they going to CGI it?
I have no clue, honestly.
I really hope not. I mean, it seems like animatronics and puppetry is like a dying art form, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, but that's, kind of the territory today, right? Mm-hmm. Practical effects, unfortunately, are dying off.
Yeah.
Before we go further, speaking of movies, let's take a pause for the cause here and promote a show that actually reviews a lot of movies in a very creative way that I dig, so I think you guys will too. So I'm going to give them a fucking shout out so you can acknowledge them if it appeals to you and you like movie review shows. Check them out, dude. They're so fucking deserving.
Absolutely.
Hi, this is Tony, the host of the Flix X-Raid podcast. Each week, I am joined by guests.
Hello.
Hello.
Yo.
Why, hello there.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
And we have a roundtable discussion where we dig deep and X-ray a bunch of our favorite films, and some really terrible ones, too. We really like to go back and take a look at films that may be forgotten, maybe in the past, and still lovable films. If you want, you can follow us on all the major platforms, iTunes, Google, Stitcher.
If you want to find out more, you can find us online at www.flixxraid.com.
And you can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want to reach out to us. Good night, Internet.
So, getting into movies, since we're talking about movies and shit, I cannot wait for this new Halloween movie that's coming out this year.
Oh, yeah, me too. I mean, we both did see the new Halloween movie last year, and it was phenomenal.
That was amazing in my view. Mm-hmm. And some people still pick it apart. Like, it's not from... Get the fuck over the 70s, dude. Holy fuck. Like, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess people can be so resistant to change and this and that, but come on. You have a majority of the original cast on board with this. I mean, minus Donald Pleasance, like, may he rest in peace, but...
The thing is, I don't understand, like, what do people want? What did they expect?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everyone's a fucking movie critic because they have access to the internet now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never fucking in my life gone to a theater that many times and seen things that I was like, it sucks. It took a lot for me to see a movie in a theater and be like, this is awful.
Mm.
I can't remember too many movies.
Really? I have one. I do. It was so bad. It was the Dukes of Hazzard movie with Jessica Simpson and was it Dane Cook?
No, Dane Cook. What the fuck? It was Knoxville, first of all.
Okay, whatever.
And
see, it was so bad I don't even remember it.
And dude from American Pie, was it not?
Can't remember, but
Sean William Scott or whatever the fuck his name is. No, not Dane Cook. Don't lump him in with this bullshit.
I'm sorry, but my God, that was awful. It was, it was a double feature at the drive-in or whatever.
Okay, I was going to say, it's your own damn fault for going to a theater to see that.
Well, it was a double feature, like I said, and I went with, like, my family, my cousins and that. It was near the end, and I'm looking at my mom, I'm like, Mom, can we please go the fuck home? This is horrible. I can't finish this. It was so cringeworthy.
I've had my experiences with drive-ins, too, where I didn't get to see what I really wanted.
Oh, come on now.
No, I don't mean that, you pervert.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there was that, but... I'm talking about a totally unrelated thing. When I was a bit younger, and, it was funny, because right next to me, they were playing what I really wanted to see, which was Dangerous Minds at the time.
Oh.
And, guess what I got instead?
What?
Fucking Waterworld. What a piece of shit.
Okay, I've never seen Waterworld, so I can't really judge, but from things I hear, that it was shit.
But again, 2 for 1, right? Mm-hmm. So I did get a gem out of it that was super fucking tits, and I still love it to this day. Virtuosity. That movie was fucking amazing.
Never seen it.
Denzel Washington and Russell fucking Crowe. And the concept of it was some fucking whack job was playing with the idea of virtual reality.
Yeah.
But some next level shit. So they'd have cops and whatnot. The idea was to have them train eventually with this VR program.
Yeah.
But the people that they used were convicts, if I remember correctly, to test it, because there's some bugs. And what they found was when people died in the VR, they died in reality.
Oh.
Because the brain was so, like, locked into the believing that it was real that they would actually die from the gunshots and shit.
Oh, shit.
And I can't remember what it was, if it was like a fucking aneurysm or if it just made the
like
brain...
their brain just overload.
Right, send the body the message that you've been killed and they believe it, so they die. And maybe it's heart attacks. I don't remember the fucking exact details of all that. But...
that sounds interesting.
They created a character that was like this super fucking criminal. And what they did was they took actual memory files and criminal records from like all these big time murderers that were famous.
Oof.
And made them into one psychopath. And he had the traits of all of them.
Oh, shoot. Actually, I do remember you mentioning this movie and showing me a trailer.
Right.
But the title slipped my mind. But my God, could you imagine if you took the worst of the worst?
Right. And Denzel's character is locked up. He was a cop. Mm-hmm. But he killed the dude that killed his family. And that dude's, like, memories are in this VR character.
Oh.
And when enough people die, you know, this creator is told to shut it down. Yeah, this is dangerous. Mm-hmm. There's too many bugs. People are dying. Fucking shut it down.
Yeah.
But he's so far gone. He loves this thing. This is his baby, right?
Yeah.
So what he does is he fucking tries to, you know, because this character now is self-aware.
Yeah.
And it believes in its own existence. And it tries to convince him to save it from being shut down. So he, like, backs it up on a file and this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. And he's also working on this other technology where he's created a digital snake. It looks like a real thing. And he cuts the tail off of it. And as it, like, seems to feel pain and, you know, whatever, he touches it to glass. And as he does, the glass starts to feed into it. It eats the glass through the wound.
What the...
That regenerates the fucking missing limb.
What the fuck?
Because it's digital.
Whoa.
So you realize it wasn't a real snake at all. It has this cube-like chip in it that makes it come to life.
Really?
That stores all the memory and everything that allows it to function.
Oh
so if
my
you
God.
remove that, it's useless. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's fucking, you know. So this guy has the same, but he somehow comes out of that VR into real life. And the first person he tracks down is the person that the cops, when they realize what's going on, they let this cop out of prison because of his ability to track down this fucking psychopath.
Wow.
But the stipulation is you catch him and bring him to justice and you get to walk free.
Yeah.
If not, you end up back here if he don't kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he fucking, you know, gets away or whatever. Mm-hmm. And obviously he has that personal issue with that one part of this thing that has those memories. So it uses those memories to taunt him because it's like he's the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's really just a combination of many. It's really fascinating. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
Really cool movie. So I recommend it highly.
Yeah. I mean, this came out when? Mid-90s? Late
94 or 95.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Again, another example, if we watched it now, like how different the technology would be. Like
It still holds up.
It still holds up. I mean, because we're trying to make advances for that. Like, I actually saw an interesting video of, like, this smart robot. I know we have, like, smartphones and assistants and that. It was in a hospital, and it'd go around and, like, actually do some of the tasks to help alleviate the workload on the nurses there. You would go to the storage room, go get what you need, and bring the meds and take your lab samples. And I'm like, that's so crazy. They actually did trial runs, and I think there's a hospital in the States that's actually rolling it out now full time.
That shit makes me paranoid.
It does too, but see, especially in, like, say, healthcare where, you know, you need critical thinking.
I don't give a fuck. Anywhere. I've watched Terminator enough times as a young one. As a kid.
Me too.
I'm paranoid of Roombas at this point. I don't trust them.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I can see you.
I do not trust them.
Sitting in a room with a Roomba going, I don't fucking trust you.
I used to have one, and I'm like watching it, like, how does it know where to go without my guidance?
My aunt and uncle had one. I thought it was the coolest thing, but they never used it. It was in their closet. I mean, especially now, those things, like, they go back to their base to charge and
My
stuff.
cat hated it.
Well, you know, the downfall of those, and I'm sure many of you seen this on, like, social media, is if you have a pet, namely a dog, let's say, and they have an accident in the house, and the Roomba rolls over it and tracks it all
tracks the
through
shit
your
everywhere.
fucking house. And it destroys it, the component, basically, because the shit's all, like, mixed in there.
Gotta tell you, man, I had one of the earlier models. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah. Like I said, my aunt and uncle too, they just didn't use it. I mean, it just seems so pointless.
It was cool, though. And now I want one again. I do.
Oh, because, I mean...
Not so people will be like, fucking rich people, like always. No, I want it because I saw what some dude did, where he programmed it to, like, have a voice. So when it bangs into shit, it yells things like, why was I created this way? And things like that. And it, like, screams profanities when it bangs into walls. Like,
oh, my God.
Fuck. Why was I created like this? And shit like that. And it's like, you feel bad for it.
Aww.
But it cracks you the fuck up at the same time because it's like, bangs into a wall. Fuck. You know?
Oh, God, imagine you're in bed just lying there, and then, you know, it decides to start its programming to go vacuum your house, and you hear this cursing. You think someone's in your fucking house.
I love it. I was like, I want him to do one custom for my fucking, you know, technology fucking...
But, man, I could imagine. You said your cat hated it. Like, poor animals was freaking out. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Because I remember back in the day, I had this little... It was some kids magazine, and they did, like, what is, like, you know, animals are most afraid of, and they say vacuums. And it makes sense, like, good lord. But I actually had a cat, well, it was my mom's cat. The fucker loved to be vacuumed. It was so bizarre. Like, she'd legit bring out the vacuum, and we had a couple other cats and pets as well, and they would go running. But this motherfucker would go running up and want her to, like, vacuum him.
But they're so loud. That's why animals are so terrified of the fucking vacuums.
Yeah. I mean, this one, too, is a clunky old central vac, and good lord. But she's, like, said it's brilliant because he would shed, and she's, like, saves it from the hair getting all over the house and stuff.
Yeah, hey, they're handy and whatever, but I found that, like, it filled up fast. And you were constantly dumping it. The battery didn't last a whole hell of a long time.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I got mine, a tenant that I had, that I was renting a room out for, you know, to in college, left it behind. So it was free to me, and I ended up selling it for like $50.
Hey, why not?
Because I didn't want it, and we needed the money. Because when everyone knows when you're in college, and I wasn't who I am today. I didn't have no name for myself. I wasn't shit. So I had no damn money at all. You know, I didn't have the MMA thing going on and all that great shit. I was in college, broke as tits like anyone else. You know, taking that OSAP bullshit, that fucking student loan crap.
Oh, man. But it's just, when you think about it, just technology, like, how do we know when we're going too far? You know, I was talking about that robot assistant in the hospital. Now they have, like, sex dolls that are almost like cyborg human beings, and to me that's fucking creepy. And people actually marry these things because they're like living, breathing companions, and to me it's like, where do we draw the line? When are we going too far? And for fuck's sakes, I would hate to have this, like, and they're expensive, but I'd hate to think that thing that you think is a real person that you use to bang and relieve yourself in could kill you. Like, something could go wrong in the programming, and it'll just, like, take you out.
Okay, but does that not, to some degree, maybe tell us where we are as human beings? That somebody would prefer this over the divorce rate, and over the way the courts favor one fucking specific gender in divorce, no matter what the situation? You know what I'm saying? We've created a state of paranoia where people would choose a fucking inanimate object that seems real enough over the real thing.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It is, and it's also sad too because, but you kind of don't blame them. Like, you do see two sides of the coin, but I think there was a movie too that kind of touched upon that. Wasn't it called Her or She or something?
I was told I need to check that out. I was told it was actually fantastic, and I never did get around to seeing it.
Neither did I, but that wasn't like it wasn't like one of those sex robots.
No,
but
I think
this is a personal assistant like
right.
Siri or Alexa.
I think it was a commentary on the world we live in today and how technology is kind of taking over even our relationships with people. Mm-hmm. But that's my view, is like, can we honestly say that as people we don't have a hand in, guiding things to that direction?
I think we do.
Maybe if we did better, people wouldn't fucking want to not associate with other people.
Yeah.
Just my view.
That's true. And if you look at, like, just going out to stores or restaurants and that, you have your self-checkouts at, like, fast food places like McDonald's. You have your own, like, order board. You just punch in your order, you wait, and then they hand you the food and you go.
I hate that because, that's what the country needs, is more unemployment rate.
Exactly.
Take more jobs from people.
It is, and it's like we're avoiding human interaction.
Well, I mean, not to cut you off, but I mean, you look at the fact that in Canada, there's no such thing as a starter home anymore.
No.
In a lot of the main provinces.
Or it's just not.
No starter family can afford to buy their first starter home because it doesn't exist anymore because they're all ridiculously priced unless you're famous. So now there's going to soon be no starter job. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where fast food was your go-to, or retail to get your foot in the door.
They're disappearing.
Right. So we're taking away now starter homes, starter jobs. Everybody's going to have to be born fucking with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Or they're screwed.
Or, they're going to have to fucking end up having a father that did what I did and make a name for yourself and become fucking successful and then have you as a child. Mm-hmm. And what are the odds of that? Like, fucking people are going to have kids long before they make it.
Well, of course, especially, you think of biology too, like people's biological clocks tick, and when people advance in age, their fertility decreases and they hit more incidents of like fertility problems and genetic problems in their offspring. So who can blame them? And personally, they don't want to be they want to be young and still have energy to grow with their child, not be, halfway through life and, missing out on some of the best years.
To me, that's all how you take care of yourself, though.
Yes.
You could have that. I'm 37 and I still feel like I'm 20 because I take care of myself. Mm-hmm. I fucking work out every day. I lift my ass off. I lift more weight than anyone I know, and I'm not saying that to blow sunshine up my own ass. That's fact. Mm-hmm. You've seen what I lift.
Yep.
Okay? Like, you can hit people with fucking numbers. Mm-hmm. I lift 245 with one arm. Doing chest day with the pec deck and shit like that.
Yeah.
I fucking do, well over 200 pounds overhead press each arm. Fuck, it's what I do. Mm-hmm. I take care of myself, man. It's part of the career.
Yeah, so.
And I feel young,
That's important.
Because I eat right, and I fucking don't eat crap and processed shit. I don't do fast food. And I know I sound like I'd be fucking real fun at parties, right? But I take care of myself. I make sure I know. And that doesn't mean I don't have my fair share of, my cheat days where I have a little bit of junk and I have some fucking drinks or whatever. Mm-hmm. But fucking drinks, too, by the way. Mm-hmm. I don't drink like I did before. So I seldom drink now, so when I do... I remember fucking, what was it, last weekend or some shit, celebrating some pretty big news about the launch of a whole bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fuck it, margaritas are in order.
Yes.
Because my mentality is like, tequila doesn't give you hangovers. Here I am forgetting Triple Sec made no such fucking promises. Mm-hmm. It doesn't owe me shit. I woke up the next day hungover as fuck. Mm-hmm. My head pounding, and I'm like, you fucking Triple Sec son of a bitch.
You're like, I immediately regret this decision.
Yeah, you did this to me.
Oh, man.
Motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, I want to go back to talking about the newest member of the family. Mm-hmm. I know there's a few, but that Chick and Hen show with S&M are fucking such an amazing couple of human beings. They're so enthusiastic about being on the network. Mm-hmm. And I'm so stoked to have them. And I gotta let people know that they are legitimately, in my view, probably what women really talk about when they think no dude's ever gonna listen. Because they talk about some fucking straight filthy shit.
Oh my gosh.
And it cracks me the fuck up, because it's total guy humor.
I was popping large for this. I mean, they're talking about farts and that. And come on now. Were. Like, typically people think, fart humor, toilet humor is like a man thing. But it was really refreshing hearing women just casually discussing about farts and that. And, what would you rather? And one was, would you rather... every time you laugh, fart very loud, but I can't remember what the other one was, and it was funny. And women, let's face it, we are disgusting creatures. We truly are. Like, my God, I swear, some stories I hear, and just about, just men's and women's washrooms, for instance, women are nasty. Leaving floaters and pissing on the seat and that. And, I mean, you don't hear that too much with men.
I called y'all out on this. I was like, y'all are nasty with the stories I heard. Mm-hmm. You guys fucking leave worse shit in the shit house in public places like the gym and whatnot than any dudes that I've heard of.
I mean, that can be debatable, though. I mean, I've heard of stories. I remember one time back... I went to the beach with a couple of my friends and that, and, two of my guy friends and my one close friend, and, we all stopped at the washrooms first, and my one guy friend goes in, he comes out, he's like, someone shit beside the toilet. Not in the toilet, beside it.
Dude,
and I'm like, what
that was a protest. Dudes are so fucking sick of being called out on their aim when they piss. That this guy's like, I'll give you something to fucking complain about.
Oh my God. But, fuck. But here's the thing with women. Yes, they'll do that with the shit. But they'll leave, sanitary products all over the place. I remember once my aunt found a used tampon applicator in the lawn. It was, the grass. It was so gross.
If I find that in a dude's bathroom, I'm going to have so many questions.
You should plant one just to throw everyone off.
I want nothing to do with any of that. Where am I going to get it from?
I'm sure you have your ways.
Fuck, don't get me started. I ain't talking about that. It's disgusting.
But, my God, I remember him just coming out. God love him. And he was just like, oh my God, this guy, there's this big log of shit beside the toilet. And I'm like... What? And these are beach public washrooms, so they're not well maintained or kept.
I crack up when someone says beach now, because I remember back when I was fucking nobody. I was working this shit job, and passing the time that made me happiest was talking to these guys. That it was so funny because they're Jamaican and they're super religious. They'll talk about God all day. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they have their vices like anyone else. And for this one dude in particular, it was women. And he was a very respectful dude, and everything. And, but he just loved to fucking, get laid. And, he loved women. Mm-hmm. Well, he respected them, gigantically. But he would always find women, and he was so in love with women that, if they showed interest and what have you, then he would reciprocate. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't one of those cheat on people and all this fucking craziness, right? Mm-hmm. But he also called things like they were, and he told me this story that cracked I popped large. I cracked the fuck up over this shit, where he's talking about his buddies telling him about this girl on the beach that oh, you should see her. From what I've seen, she looks stunning, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, he wasn't one to cuss, but, I'm paraphrasing here. Mm-hmm. But he's like, so I go over and I look, and everything's, I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, not, that she seems like my type of person. Mm-hmm. She looks great. Mm-hmm. until he gets a little closer. It says, "She had back hair you could braid, my friend." And he's like, God help her, she couldn't help that, but...
Oh, no!
But, like, you know, it was just like, no, that's not for me.
Oh, no. I do feel sorry for the chick. I mean...
Oh, so did he, but, you know, he's like, I don't mean to make fun or anything, I'm just saying, like, that was my first impression, and then I saw that, and I was like, no, that's really not what I'm into. And I don't know. He's much nicer than me. I cracked up fucking large, so I don't want people to think he's an asshole. Put it on me. I laughed. That's on me. That's my bad, y'all. But I thought it was funny as shit. Because it caught me off guard, right?
Yeah.
And it was such a description that I was like, that's the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting, like, you know, maybe she was a total dick and didn't have any interest, didn't give him the chance to even...
Or she had a massive camel toe or something.
I don't know, man. But to get hit with, like, she had back hair you could braid... That was fucking a visual that made me laugh, and I was like, this is too much.
Oh, my goodness.
And I got this really sweet message, actually, from one of the hosts of the show we're talking about, and she's super stoked. She was listening to the show, and was like, I can't wait to be a guest. She's like, you remind me of my sister and I.
Oh, nice.
With the honesty. And just the way you approach things, and really like the show, you know, really dig it, and that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people are going to be like, well, it's your network, you don't really have to have people on your network that care about your damn show, and you're right, I don't have to. It's just really cool to see that they do like the show.
Yeah. That's
nice, you know, it's always nice to know. So there you go. They're not blowing my horn and shit like that, you know, and... you know, I saw talent, and I wanted to kind of help them grow. So, and in return, you know, their fan base is acknowledging what I do and my brand, and it's all gravy, man. It's all love. So, absolutely love these people, man.
Yeah.
And they're based in Georgia, so if you're from Georgia and you're one of my many fucking listeners, show some love for one of your own state's people, man.
Absolutely. So... I'm really excited to have them more involved in the network and that.
Absolutely. And speaking of, you know, the U.S., I feel like I owe another shout out to the absolutely amazingly talented Kelly Mays, who's done my intro and outro for the show. Absolutely love her. Straight out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Couldn't fucking be happier with her work, man. So thank her very much. Thank you to her for doing what she does and being so damn talented.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm so jazzed with the way season 2 has kind of been progressing.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and people are still going back and listening to season 1, and I ain't mad at it.
I know. And,
you know,
it's funny, you've mentioned to me, it always seems to be the Halloween specials that everyone seems to flock to.
And then the first 2 or 3 shows, man. And number 7... about the Jason Voorhees story. People seem to love that, especially in California, and which just happens to be where that publicist that I've been connected with is based out of. So that's really cool, man, because I got a huge fan base in California.
Yeah.
So it'll be really cool, man. Maybe he already knows who the fuck he's dealing with.
Maybe.
And he'll be used to my shenanigans.
I'd hope so for his sake.
He can send me his therapy bill if he's not. And that'll be fine, too.
All right, fair enough.
So anyways, you know, I'm really stoked about this partnership with these shows. I hope everybody gives them a fair shake. And just remember, they're growing.
Yeah.
So listen to them fairly and let them grow. Grow with them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just watch them improve, because they will, and they have been. And I mean, the show that I'm talking about most is honestly because they were killing it from day one, and they just keep getting better. And they're going on to season 2 now. They're about to launch season 2. They're about to be guests on my show in the near future. And let's see if we can't get you a believer in these people if you aren't already, because they deserve it, and you deserve to hear good content. So I'm looking out for y'all. And before we wrap this bitch up, I just want to thank everybody for whether you made it to the network or you tried,
Yeah.
and nobody failed miserably or anything like that. Everybody did great. Mm-hmm. Everybody had solid work. It's just, you can only pick so many shows from a specific genre before you run the risk of being cookie cutter, and then everybody's, sounding the same. And I wanted diversity from my fans. I wanted the network to have something for everyone. I want a paranormal show still. I want a true crime show still. I want a sports show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I want a UFC show. And call me biased, but, it's kind of a subject close to my heart.
Uh-huh.
MMA is kind of very dear to me. It's kind of given me a great life.
Yeah.
So, I want a bunch of shows. So if you guys know of any, you can email me at tattness@tattnessco.com and let me know.
And we appreciate the input.
Of any shows that you dig that may be looking for a new home.
Yeah.
So, that being said, check out those shows I mentioned. Mm-hmm. You will not be disappointed. And what's it going to cost you, man? They're all free. Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't for you, then so be it.
Yep.
Didn't cost you a dime.
Exactly.
We just give you something new to consider and something new to listen to. So you have variety. Mm-hmm. And they're all talented, man.
Yep.
I always say, if something's not for me, it doesn't mean it's not good.
Exactly.
I just have my preferences, and
we all do, man.
These shows are definitely for me, man, because they talk about things I want to hear about. Mm-hmm. So if they have any kind of subject matter that interests you,
give them a chance.
I say go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's it gonna hurt?
Exactly.
So show some love. I'll catch your asses later, man. Thanks for listening.
Yep, we'll see you next time.
I will not speak to smallness, a destruction of the fear in us. I have yet to know what I should.